Wes Anderson is one of the most unique and creatively offbeat filmmakers working in the industry today. Over the course of 24 years and 9 feature films with a 10th on its way, he's managed to create a completely unparalleled style of filmmaking that anyone who's seen one of his films can instantly recognize. Some even go as far to say that Wes Anderson has created a genre all of his own. Now there are dozens of videos and essays that dive into the visual style of Anderson. It makes sense. It's the most instantly recognizable quality when you view one of his films. There's another side to Anderson though. While he's one of the greatest modern directors, he's also a phenomenal writer. He's co-wrote all 9 of his films with various partners over the years, and when looking at his writing, I think you can find just as a distinct a style as you do with his directing.
So you were in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah?
Were you in the shit?
Yeah, I was in the shit.
When looking at a good chunk of his filmography, you can find an underlying theme between a lot of his movies. On the surface, his films may seem almost childish in nature, but if you look at the subject matter the film is dealing with, it can actually be compared to some relatively serious works. Wes Anderson, unlike any other filmmaker, is able to approach stories and ideas in ways that we've never seen before, often looking at them through the most innocent of viewpoints. His films are completely devoid of cynicism, and they always manage to bring a childlike wonder to their screenplays.
This troop has been very shabby to Field Man Sam Shakusky. In fact, we've been a bunch of mean jerks.
To see an example of Anderson incorporating this writing style, we don't have to look any further than his first feature. In Bottle Rocket, we follow a group of friends, Dignan, Anthony, and Bob, as they attempt to pull off the heist of their lives. It's a film about friendship, love, family, but nonetheless, in the grand scheme of things, it's a heist movie. But it's unlike any heist movie you've seen before. It's comedic, it's lighthearted, and the characters are just so innocent. Compare Dignan and the crew buying black market guns versus someone like Travis Bickle doing the same thing. One feels realistic and distressing, the other hilarious. When Travis tests out the guns, we can feel the real and serious intent behind his actions.
That's a fine gun. Some of these guns are like toys. That 38, you go out and hammer nails with it all day, come back and it'll cut dead center on target every time.
Now compare that to when the boys in Bottle Rocket are practicing. They barely even know how to keep the gun steady. Even though we're dealing with the same subject matter, the feeling we get while watching each scene is completely different. When it comes to the final heist of the movie, like many other films, we see things go terribly wrong. Of course, they go wrong in a way only Wes Anderson could write. Instead of seeing one of our crew get fatally wounded like we might in any other movie, we instead wind up discovering one of them locked in a giant freezer. Fast forward 18 years and Wes Anderson gives us The Grand Budapest Hotel. Almost 20 years after his debut, we can still see the same effect being done to an even greater degree. For example, when Zero and Gustav are being interrogated on the train, we again see narrative contrasting with emotion. While the war-torn country of the film is entirely fictional, its obvious influences are not hard to determine. While Gustav and Zero getting their faces bashed in isn't necessarily funny, it still embodies a somewhat whimsical disposition. A little later in the film, we can see the violence at its most comical. Again, this is the Wes Anderson writing style in full effect. We can even look at the prison escape sequence and see these same bizarre and quirky discrepancies in mood versus content. I mean, we literally have a scene of a prisoner relentlessly attacking and murdering several guards in cold blood, but it still feels like we want to laugh. There isn't any director that can pull off such amazing juxtaposition like Wes Anderson does. Just like his visual style, it is totally and uniquely him. Now I could go on all day naming different examples from all of his films, but I think you get the point by now. While Wes Anderson's visual accomplishments have always been held to high acclaim, unfortunately, it seems his genuinely impeccable writing style often gets overlooked.